Hello, everyone. How is it going? Sorry for the late start. I was trying to get some Figma ASCII art in the Discord announcement because I saw waves from the Tetris event earlier. But how is it going? How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, it's not too late or not too early, whatever side of the globe you're in. And hopefully, everyone's excited for, I think, daylight savings if you're in the US tomorrow. Yeah. I see somebody in chat is it's they're at their first Global Hack Week, and it is okay if you're not able to attend this stream fully, but hopefully you find something cool out of the event. So let's go ahead and begin. So I'm gonna just reduce the music real quick. All right, so we're gonna be doing Figma 2 code, learning design with dev mode. Dev mode is a really cool product from Figma, and I hope you all will enjoy it as much as I enjoy it. So first things first, if you haven't already, ooh, sorry about that. Okay, first things first, if you can, sign into this link right here in chat. This is going to be the sign-in link if you want to get some points for Global Hack Week. Highly recommend doing that. And I see Boschik, it's also his first one as well. Nice to hear that. That Pep O, also first time, or not first time, but also here in chat. Anybody else joining? Anybody else here want to say hi? I see a lot of friends in chat. All right. Oh wow, there's a lot. Thunder Wolf, Fluffy Blue Topaz, and Amazing Dude. How's it going? Okay, let's go ahead and begin. So, I also see a few more Assassin Souls and Samada and Kraichi.exe. Nice to see. And Ghost Caller on YouTube. All right, let's go ahead and begin. So for those that don't know who I am, I'm Ryan Lalu. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. I am a avid Figma enjoyer, and I am also a D1 yapper. So I will probably be rambling a few times. If I ramble too much, let me know. But I love yapping, especially about Figma. Oh, I love the waves and I love the Ryan is OP. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so getting into the entire Figma workshop here, I'm going to be covering the 5 things we're doing today. First off, we're doing getting access to Figma Dev Mode. After that, we're going to cover the Figma fundamentals. So if you are new to Figma, don't worry. We'll cover all of that in this workshop. After that, we're going to learn and work with Figma Dev Mode. Then we're going to build a quick project. And after that, we're going to build it to life. So if you want to make a Figma design, and learn how to make one, and then after that, make it an actual website, this is the workshop for you. And you'll find that using Figma Dev Mode really expedites your workflow. And in my opinion, you end up making better looking websites and better looking, I guess, designs in general than what a LLM could produce. So what is Figma? Well, the entire motto of Figma is making design accessible for all. So Figma has 4 products. The first and most popular is Figma Design, which if you don't know what Figma Design is, think of it as an online multiplayer canvas. It's a free and popular tool for designers, product managers, and developers. You can create, share, test, and design all in one area. And you can use this tool to make websites, mobile apps, and other digital products. Basically, just think of it as your as a really, really nice tool for just designing. And then I see a question, is this related to last Figma stream? It might be. We're just covering it twice, I guess. So all good. So the next product Figma has in their suite is called Figma. Okay, yeah, this is, sorry, there's going to be some old slides in this, but that is a-okay. So bear with me as I go through this. So the next one is going to be FigJam. FigJam is your online multiplayer whiteboard. Think of FigJam as literally, it's a whiteboard that you might have in your school, and you can write on it, you can draw, you can add sticky notes, you can add stickers, all these different things together with your friends. So if you're working at a hackathon and you're trying to design a user flow, you can make flow diagrams on here and then have sticky notes, annotate them, add some ideas, make an idea board, make a Kanban board. You can do all of those different things with FigJam, and it is a really, really powerful tool. I actually used it literally a day ago. After that, we have Figma Slides. Figma Slides is an online multiplayer slide creation tool. Think of it as your Google Slides, but for like designers. So if you want to design with intent and design your experience for the end user, which is your audience, this is the best resource for you. In fact, this presentation is using Figma Slides. So you're going to see designs that you normally wouldn't get if you were to use any other slide creation program. And lastly is Figma Dev Mode. Figma Dev Mode is a pretty new product. I think it was released officially, like fully released last summer. And it is a online developer assistant where you're able to inspect designs and use code gens to create code from them. You can also integrate different workflow integrations like Jira, Storybook, GitHub, and VS Code, and expedite all of your processes. So yeah, I see a few questions. I love FigJam. Me too. I fully concur. And then is this related to the last Figma stream? Same question. I think we're hosting it twice now. So if you want to maybe we can branch off the card project and do something extra special for y'all. Yeah, so I guess we're just doing it twice, which is just getting better at design. So if maybe the last one was too fast for you, hopefully this one is also a good way to just catch up. So yeah, and let's go ahead and move on. So as far as what we're going to be using today, we are going to be using Figma Design and Dev Mode. So those two, as you can probably tell with the title of this workshop, or from the stream yesterday, we're doing the two of them. So you might be asking yourself, why should we learn Figma? Well, quite simply put, Figma is the industry standard tool for designing products for the vast majority of Fortune 500s and startups. I can attest to this. It is used pretty much everywhere. It is a great tool. I love it. I've been using it since I started hackathons like 4 years ago. So ever since then, it has been an invaluable tool, and I love it personally. So if you are new to Figma, you might be asking yourself, well, what's the sell? Why should you use this over just coding it yourself? Or why should I use this instead of, let's say, another LLM? Quite simply put, you have so many free design kits to design on any platform you want with Figma. For example, you can design iOS and iPadOS with their UI toolkit. Apple has a UI toolkit for all of those. There's also material design, the material design kit by Google. So if you want to build Android applications or web applications following the material standard, they have this design kit with all of their UI components. And lastly is the Simple Design System, or SDS, by Figma. This is a simple, I guess, platform agnostic design library where you can use these components pretty much anywhere. And with that, design really really standardized, accessible websites if you follow their kit. And I see a question, how many minutes am I late? You are not late at all. We started about 7 minutes ago, but it's a-okay. We're just covering the breakdown of it, of Figma. So kind of getting into more detail here. If you look at the right-hand side, I think it's right over there, you can see all of the components, not all of them, I guess a really nice selection of components for things that you can create by using the iOS and iPadOS design kit. So imagine building your iOS app in Figma and then exporting that to Swift UI code, and then having all of that in Swift pretty fast. The next one is going to be the Material 3 design kit. As you can see here, Material has a lot of really cool components. You can use all of these building blocks, think of them as Legos, and build your UIs first, and after that export it into Android Studio. And lastly, the Simple Design System. If you're familiar with Shadcn UI, if you're a React or Next.js developer, this is very similar to that. It is a really nice. I've used this like maybe 5 times, like in my own personal projects. Easy way to make your own designs and your own user flows or user mocks websites without having to worry about platforms. So the last two were for mobile or targeting mobile. This one is agnostic to your, I guess, your phone or to your device. Sorry, device agnostic, and it's a really really cool. I need to stop saying really. It's a neat design system, and I see all designs. Apple designs use either UI Kit or Swift UI, 100%. And then Shadcn for the win. Yep, love Shadcn UI. All right, so where can I use Figma? Answer: anywhere. You can use it in Chrome, you can use it on any OS, and you can use it on your phone and on VS Code. So, more, I guess, more elegantly put, the three main modals of Figma or Figma design is going to be your web browser, desktop and mobile, and the VS Code extension. So if you want to download a application on your computer for Figma, you can. If you want to use this on a Chromebook, you can. There's a web browser version. If you want to use it in your IDE, you can also do that. It is pretty much everywhere, and it's super accessible. All right, so let's first try to get access to Dev Mode. So if you are a student, you get access to a Figma education plan, which includes most professional features for free. Really, really neat. Just apply at mlh.link/Figma. It should take you about 5 minutes. I think the hardest thing that you are required to have is a transcript of your education, just to prove that you are still in school. And you'll be able to get access to a Figma education team, which will give you access to Dev Mode. So right there, there is a timer for about 5 minutes. I'm going to give everybody about, let's say, let's do the rest of the 4 minutes to get access to Dev Mode, and let me know how it goes. And I'll be here to answer any questions. All right. I'm going to also change the music real quick. Let's go for something a little faster. All right. Oh, there's so many new tracks. Okay, and maybe a different beat. Okay, awesome. So I see a few questions. After designing, can we get the HTML code of the design? Yes, you can. With Figma, you can use CodeGens to export into any type of coding language that you want. And then, can a college ID card work? I'm not sorry, this is covering my face right now. I am not entirely sure about this right here, but I think the answer is you need a transcript. And question, it verified me instantly. Hey, that's awesome. And then after designing, can we get the HTML code of the design? Yes, you can. You can use CodeGens. You just need to use, you can use CodeGens inside of Figma Dev Mode, and that's how you get it. Okay, let me change this real quick. Is this any better? Okay, that's way better. I don't have to jump over the, what's it called? I don't have to jump over the comments. So yeah, let me put myself back here. Okay, there we go. Awesome. This is a lot better. So about 2.5 minutes left. If you haven't already, go to mlh.link/Figma. That's an easy way to get access to that mode. And what type of institution you attend or work for? What do I choose? So Figma Dev Mode or Figma Education is meant for people who are still in school. The idea is that while you're in college, you want to try these technologies for free. And being a student, it's kind of hard to get the finances to justify the finances to pay for these licenses. So if you are a student, you can get it for free by signing in and selecting your educational institution. So you can only get Figma Education if you are still in school. All right, and I am going to get some water real quick for the remaining 2 minutes. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer them when I get back. Oh yeah, okay. So you are a college student. Okay, so let me check it out real quick. 100%. So sorry about that. I thought the institution is like oh yeah, okay. So K-12 is going to be if you are not in college yet, so pre-college. Higher ed is going to be if you are in college or university, and then bootcamp or online program is if you're in a bootcamp or a online program. I'm not entirely sure about this one. Home activate. I'd recommend attending. I'm not sure if there's a check for how long you're in the stream, but I'd recommend signing in and sticking to here. Awesome. If you're doing your bachelor's, you're going to want to select higher ed. Higher ed will be any university degree. All right, and I'm going to be right back for the last minute to get some water. All right. So let's see a few questions in chat. So K-12 equals school, higher ed equal uni, or boot camp equivalent equal, I don't know. Yeah, that's about right. I see Soham activates that they uploaded their ID card and it worked. That is amazing. So I guess you can use an ID card or a transcript. After that, I see a question, and it is, do I need to do this with my school email, or a personal one is also okay? I am pretty sure you need a .edu email, but if you can get it working with your Gmail account, let me know. Or your personal email, sorry. Let me know. I guess you can use your personal, great. What I did is I used my school email ID. Now I see options like team admin. Am I on the right track? Let me check real quick. When it asks, are you a student, educator, or admin? I would put, if you're a student, put student. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. I'll give you all like one more minute. If you have any questions, drop them in chat. All right, and if there are no other questions, let's go ahead and continue. So let's cover the Figma design basics. So if you were new to Figma, this is going to be the the section of this presentation for you. We'll cover basically how to learn, how to use Figma, how to learn it, all that stuff, cool and fun things. So the 4 most important parts of using Figma is knowing the 4 different areas of what is on your canvas. So, sorry, what is on your screen. So there are 4 distinct regions. You have the left sidebar, the right sidebar, where's my cursor? The right sidebar. You have the toolbar, and you have the canvas, which encapsulates the entirety of your screen. So the canvas is your working area. This, again, is the most important part of Figma. When you are moving around, this will probably be the hard part, is understanding how to pan and how to zoom in and out. If you're coming from a design tool like Illustrator, it's going to be very different. So the way to move, if you're using a mouse, is to hold spacebar and drag If you're on a Mac and you have a mouse, you can also use, I think, Command. If you're on a trackpad to pan around, you're going to want to slide with 2 fingers. After that, to zoom in and out, you're going to want to hold Command or Space, Command or Control, and then Space. Wait, sorry. You can scroll in and out while holding Command. That's right. So if you want to like zoom in and out, hold Command, or use Control plus Space. And then after that, you can use trackpad to pinch in and out with 2 fingers to zoom in and out. And I see a question saying it says verification failed. If it says verification failed, I hope it gives a reason why it failed. I would just read that reason and see if you can backtrack your steps and fix whatever the problem was. If you have any more details, I might be able to help you out. Feel free to just let me know. Yeah, so this is normally the most constricting part of any workflow in Figma, so knowing how to do these is extremely beneficial. After that is the toolbar. The toolbar is the second most important part of Figma design. So the Figma is how you interact with the canvas. There are a lot of tools on your toolbar, but the most useful for our case in this workshop is going to be move, framing, text, and shape. We're going to use all 4 of them. So there's a lot more here, but if you want to know the like the hotkeys on your keyboard, think about the V in move, the F in frame, the R in shape, like rectangle, and then T for text. So most of the time it's the first letter. If not, it's going to be probably the most unique character. Yeah. So I see it didn't give any reasons. If it doesn't, definitely try using your school email. I'm pretty sure it tries to push you towards using it. So yeah. Oh, let's continue. So the left sidebar here, also pretty important. There are 4 or 5 distinct areas in this. The most important being, if you see that Figma logo on the top left, that one's going to be where you access your main menu. So if you want to see all the different functionalities, it's going to be right there. The logo or the icon on the other top right of the UI is going to be how to collapse the sidebar. So if it's too big, you can collapse it and make it pretty small to save some space. After that, we have file name and file location. So file name is what the file name is. That dropdown has a few more settings to move the location. And then you have file location. File location is pretty important. Whenever you create whenever you sign up for a Figma education plan, you're actually creating a Figma education team. So your designs have to be in the specific team to get access to dev mode. Anything in that team will have the paid features. Anything in your personal team, which is your account, is gonna have no features. So the way Figma works is through teams. With teams, if designs are in it, you'll get access to Figma dev mode. That might be a point later in this presentation. After that, we have file and assets. I'll go with the one that's not as important for this workshop. That's going to be assets. Assets are going to be all of like the images, the vectors, stuff like that in an easy and exportable view for you to export. After that is file. File is going to be probably the most common one, the one that you'll be on for the most. It's going to contain basically everything down below, which includes pages. Pages are going to be your, think of it like the different sheets in Google Sheets. It's like different canvases in Figma. So if you want separate canvases, you can use more pages. And lastly, it's not pictured here, but what would be right below pages is going to be layers. Layers is, think of it like a burger, where you have different layers of a sandwich, even different layers of a sandwich. The higher it is, the more visible it is if you look from top down, and whatever is right to the top, you're gonna see the most. And yeah, and then so Activate said, will we work on a design file or Jamboard? We're gonna be working on a design file. And I see DatPep said, can you repeat? Yeah. So that logo, main menu. File name is your file name. Dropdown shows you all the different moving options. File location is going to be where the file is located. After that, assets is a panel where you can export all of your assets. Think of it like images. File is going to be where we're going to be mainly, sorry, is what we're mainly going to be using. It contains pages. Pages are like different Google Sheets, like the tabs on the very bottom. The Figma equivalent is different pages or different canvases on a page. So, and then after that, right below it is going to be layers, and layers are like layers in a cake. So the topmost one is the one that has the higher precedent. Anything below will be hidden beneath it, depending on like if it's stacked on top of each other on the canvas. All right, and let's go on to the last part of the UI. So the right sidebar is arguably the most complicated, and that is a-okay because more complication means that there are a lot more things and customizability you can have. So there are two main tabs. I can't really point at it, but if you see where it says design and prototype, design is going to be where you see all of these different actions on the left. And then if you look at I wonder if I can, is there like a red pen I can use? No, there isn't. Okay. Well, if you look at the second one, the one to the right of that, you can see where it's on the prototype tab. And that prototype tab lets you create user flows, which allow you to create essentially animations or like a full functioning application inside of a Figma emulator. It's a really interesting thing if you want to create transitions and animations. And Soham said, I think you should use your opposite hand because it's going to the opposite side. I completely agree. I should use this. And then, are there any limits to the amount of design files you can create on your EDU team? I am not entirely sure about that. I want to say infinite, but probably not infinite. I think it's large enough to where you will never hit it if you use it reasonably. And then prototype control device windows. Yes, it's basically that. Think of it like if you have different phone mocks, you can make it to where when you click a button, it's going to be linked to another page. So a button might send you to another page. And you can do all those transitions with prototypes. The design is design window. Use right point towards left. Use right. Yeah. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. My nose is getting a little congested, but I'll let y'all read that right-hand side description, and I'll annotate it right after. All right, we back. All right, so to finish off the slide, sorry about all of the chaos. We have what's it called? I'm gonna come back to the design tab. So this design tab on the right sidebar is so important. As you can see, there are a lot of icons, not a lot of text, and it's okay. We're gonna cover a good chunk of it today and what it means. For example, the different sub tabs you can see, or like sub tabs, are gonna be frame, which is up there. You have the position. Oh, I don't know if it's large enough. You have the position tab up here. Then you have the layout tab, and then appearance is down there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then the appearance tab is the very bottom. So they all do what they say, and if you don't know what that means, that's a-okay. We'll come back to that in a bit. And one last note, if you do not select anything, nothing's gonna appear. So make sure to click on an element if you want to see the element design properties. Awesome. So let's continue. So there's a lot more. I tried covering a bit of it. I kind of started rambling a little bit, but there's a lot more, a lot more. And if you want to see it all or get some good resources, Figma has a really cool page called Figma Resources. This page has so much on there. So if you want to learn more, you can visit mlh.link/Figma Resources. So let's move on to the UI card project. So we have a choice we can make here, chat. We can either I can do this live in Figma, or we can just do the presentation. What would y'all prefer? Figma or live demonstration? Live demo. I love it. Completely agree. Okay, so I'm gonna exit this tab real quick, or exit this presentation mode. Give me 1 second. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna open up. Give me one moment. Gonna open up this real quick. Okay, so everybody, real quickly, go to Figma and create a draft or a design file. And yeah, let's make something. So I'm gonna real quick fix my tabs. Oh, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Now I can see chat too. Awesome. Okay, so I can see we can create a static website. It's our challenge too. Yeah, if you want, you can create a website. We're going to be doing that as well. So let's go ahead and start. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to move this. Actually, this is covering my screen. We're going to create a text box. So click the T key. I'm also going to zoom in here. Zoom in. Awesome. Let's create a text box. Click the T key, click on the canvas, and we are going to basically give it a title. So again, trying to fix my my thing. Give me one moment. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna click the T key, and we're gonna create a title. So I'm gonna go over here. We're going to name it. Yeah, let's name it My Favorite Hackathon Win. So we have created a text box that says My Favorite Hackathon Win. After that, let's add some styling to it. So what's it called? I want to make this bold. And how big do I want to make it? That's a great question. Let's make it 24. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna make it 24 wide. After that, let's go ahead and create a rectangle. So clicking the R key, I'm gonna hold the bottom left corner, drag to the top right corner. With this, let's go ahead and keep it the same color. We're gonna come back to this and add an image to it. After that, let's create a text box. I'm gonna make this a description of my hackathon win. And because it's really large right now, let's go ahead and make it smaller. So I'm gonna make it 16. It's the wrong button. 16 over here. And I'm gonna use this auto height button under layout. And I'm going to name it I'm gonna also unbold this by clicking, you can click the drop down here to go from bold to regular, or you can also click Command B. My favorite hackathon win was at Hack Texas. It was a great event, and I loved the Neo Tokyo theme. Yeah, so I'm again going to reduce the font size here. I'm going to let's make it 16. And I'm going to just balance it out on the side. I also see we have a quick comment. Hey, Jam, I tried to use the EDU email and got verified. It says follow these final steps to unlock all the features from a professional plan, create, upgrade, or join an education team. Without following the step, you won't have professional level features. Invite collaborators to join your education team. Yeah. So the quick answer to that is Figma uses teams. They don't use like licenses. It's kind of weird. So your designs have to be in your new education team to get access to education or professional features. So your drafts can exist on your account or can exist on your new team's account. So you want to move it to your team, that way you get access to dev mode. And I see a comment, what's the gray box above the heading? So the gray box above the heading is going to be a image soon. That is for now just a rectangle. We'll get to that in a second. And now it shows which plan would you like to get started, professional or get $0 a month. Yeah, so you want to move your draft files to your education team. How do you delete an element you didn't mean to put? So you can click on the element and hit backspace to delete it. Awesome. So continuing on here, we are going to, give me one second, I need to sneeze. All right, I'm back. Okay, to answer your question again, I would highly recommend moving your design file to your new design team. Those, I am 90% sure, should be free. All right, and let's go ahead and continue on here. So I'm going to hit the fill button. Where it says fill, I'm going to move up to the third icon from the left where it says image. I'm going to hit image, and I'm going to upload one from my computer. So what am I going to upload? So this is an image I used for a project recently. So I'll go ahead and use that. We never ended up completing the project for this hackathon, but yeah, I have the image regardless. So after that, we have now turned this rectangle into an image that we can scale and do whatever we want with. And to show that again, you just click on the rectangle, then you go to fill on the right-hand side. Let me see if I can expand. On the right-hand side, you on the very top left, the third icon from the left under custom, you click on that image. Once you do that, you just upload from computer. 100%. I'll do that one more time. You click on the rectangle. After that, you want to under fill, click on image. It's going to be on the right-hand sidebar. So this right here. Once you're there, you want to click on the third icon from the left, and then you want to upload from computer, and I'll just circle them. So you click here first, you click here second, right? And then after that, I'm going to click on this icon right here. It just appeared, but it's this one. Let me see if I can get right here. Third from the left, and then you click upload from computer. Exactly. Thank you, Dat. Is it Dat People? 100%. All right. And now the next step is to frame all of that pep. Perfect. So yeah, next thing is to frame everything. So I am going to just zoom out a little bit. I'm going to select everything here, and I am going to hit Option, Command G, or if you're on Windows, Control Alt G. So, is this right? Yeah, there you go. And just like that, we have framed everything. So for those that do not know what frames are, think of frames as boxes, right? When you have elements inside of a box, there are many different ways you can order them. So think of it like a moving box or an Amazon box, and you have your stuff inside of it, right? Your Amazon order. In this case, we have a frame, which is our Amazon box, and we have two text elements and a image element. So you can see those right here. We're getting to that Pep. We're gonna do something called auto layout, which is similar to Flexbox and CSS. My image appears grayish. What should you do? So, if you already uploaded your image, you might have accidentally clicked a number, which will change your fill opacity. So on the bottom right corner, it might be like this, right? Or it's very transparent. If you set that back to 100, it should be fully opaque. Or it might be appearance too. So the appearance might have been set to be a smaller number. Just set that back to 100 and it should be opaque. Yeah, so now that we have our frame, let's go ahead and auto layout. So for those that are familiar with Flexbox and CSS, this is exactly that, the good old Flexbox. Yeah, I saw a comment in chat. Yo, good, thanks. I got a pro version. I didn't make team though because I have no team for EDU. It's totally free, right? And after same, it's not gonna ask for money being pro. If tell me if I'm getting this right. You're saying that you didn't make a team already, and you're thinking it might charge you some money. If you sign up for if it gave you the confirmation for a education team, you have an education team. It's free for as long as you're a student. Once you're no longer a student, they're going to give you a 4-month warning, or you'll have to vacate your files because the team is closing. So if you put your files in that team, it is going to be free. So I can show you right here. If I click on drafts, you can see that all of my drafts right now are in my team. So this Ryan's team is my education team. This is my education account where you can see, I think they used to have drafts under that, but I think they moved it to where your drafts are only under your team. So yeah, or I think maybe they just have, you have your own team, and whenever you get education, it turns your team into an education team. But they used to have a way to where there were 2 different draft areas. So yeah, you can see all of my drafts are going to be here. And because of that, I can turn on dev mode like this. All right. So to continue, now that we have created our auto frame, which is like a flexbox in CSS, we can then start doing some styling. So let's go ahead and do some of that. So let's go ahead, or not even styling, sorry, positioning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this card a little bigger. I'm going to drag down that bottom. That way it looks more like a card. After that, I'm going to set it to be left center justified, or align left. I'm going to make this image just a little bit bigger. I might even, what if I center this? I might center it. Yeah, I'm going to center it. Center at the very top. Yes, like that. Awesome. I'm going to give it a gap right here, vertical gap between objects of 6. I am going to give it a horizontal padding of 24 and a vertical padding of 24. So yeah. Yeah, like that. So we have now used Flexbox to basically align everything to the top center. We've given it a vertical padding of 6 over here. We've given it a horizontal padding of 24 and a vertical padding of 24. So again, all you do is click on your frame. You click on this align top center. Might be kind of hard to see, but this right here. I made sure that the direction right now is going to be downwards, like a column. Then I set the vertical padding to 6, horizontal padding of 24, and then vertical padding of 24. Sorry. When I said vertical padding of 6, that's a vertical gap of 6, and a horizontal and vertical padding of 24. All right. And you might notice that the reason why everything is constricted right now is because I have manually set the width and height to be a number. And I got it to be like that by just dragging the edges. So, oh yeah, so if you don't see auto layout, I think I just breezed through that too fast accidentally. When you have all of your elements, I'll actually just take it out. When you have all of your elements, you want to select them all and hit Shift A. Shift A will make a auto layout. Yeah. So Shift A gets to an auto layout, and that's where you can do the align top. You can resize the card to make it fixed. I'm just going to set it to be the top. It has a vertical gap of 6 and a horizontal and vertical padding of 24, like that. All right. Let's go ahead and add something else to the card. So the card right now, as you can see, when you click on it, how do you tell where the borders are or where the edges are? The easiest way is to scroll down on your right sidebar under stroke, hit stroke, and you can give it a number to represent the pixel width. So what we are going to do is we're going to give it a pixel width of 2. Actually, make it a little bit thicker. Let's give it a 4. And then after that, if you want to give it a curved radius next to appearance, which is 2 above stroke, you can actually just set it as a number or drag and give it a radius. So I'm going to give it a radius like a trading game card. And bada bing, bada boom, we now have our UI card. So I'll do it again on this next card over here. I'm going to scroll down under appearance, under fill, we have stroke. I'm going to click on it to add a stroke. I'm going to give it a stroke of 4 pixels. And after that, I'm going to give it a border radius of like, let's say 16. And just like that, I have a UI card. And we are so close to finishing. What's it called? Actually, that is pretty much the entire card. So we can do a few more things to make it prettier. Let's go ahead and add it, give it a background color. So I'm gonna give it a what's like a fun color? I'll give it like a slightly red tint. Maybe I'll give it a brown tint. So I'll click fill. Under fill, I'll click the color. Once I click the color, I'm gonna drag to like an orange and give it a light brown. And we can do so much more. There's so many design things. Like let's say this image, I want to give it a stroke. I can give it a stroke. I can make it like 2. I can give it another border radius. And yeah, just like that, we have created our own UI card. I see. I wish I had a chance to be part of 2023, 24 because my grad is ending in August 2025. I feel you. I feel you. I just recently graduated, so I have the same dilemma where I'm losing my education access. And then I have an education account, but I can't switch to dev mode. It says it requires a professional plan. So I'd go ahead and click on your Figma file and verify. If you click move file, when you click move file, see if it's under your team project. So mine isn't, but it should be. I don't know why it's letting me do this. But if you move it into your team project right here, it should work. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So with that, we have finished creating our UI card. The next thing we're gonna wanna do here is we are gonna want to create more of them in a frame. So give me just 1 second to check something. Yeah, so we're gonna wanna just copy and paste these a few more times. I just realized that this is a 1 hour slot, not a 2 hour slot. So we're gonna wanna create a quick frame. I'm gonna just speed run through the rest here. Sorry for the delays, y'all. I'm gonna create a massive frame. I'm gonna hit Shift A to make that auto layout. I'm going to set this to be a wrap under auto layout. Set the auto layout to be aligned to the top left here. I'm going to give it a padding of, let's say, 32 and a bottom padding of 32. And then I'm going to add this card to the frame and just hit Control V a few times. And this is representing our UI. So again, imagine it like your actual UI. You can see all of the cards. If it overflows, it cuts off. So now we can move on to the last step, which is dev mode. Now that we have everything, we can hit this bottom icon to switch to dev mode. Once we have switched to dev mode, there's a lot of cool things you can do. To briefly cover it all, the left side will show you everything that's marked for development. So if I click on this icon on the top right of my frame, I can toggle ready for development. Once I have that, you can see it's already at the very top left here on my sidebar. I can click on it and view it. If I click any frame on the left, you can see on the right-hand side, we have all these different stylings. So if you were to copy and paste this into CSS, you can see all the stuff right there. So you click on anything, see the layout, typography, content, etc. And now we can move on to the best and most cool thing of Figma Dev Mode, and that is code gens. So I can hit code here, which it's already under. If you want to view properties, you can select the property dropdown and view all the properties in a code agnostic way. It's just a very easy way to read it. I can click code. I can click on this top frame on the left here, so it selects everything. And I can now select whatever code gen I want it to export to. So you can see either CSS, iOS for SwiftUI and UI kit. There's Android. There's anything from the public marketplace. There's so much you can do. I'm going to use this Figma to code. With this, you can turn it to Tailwind JSX for React. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to export it to HTML. So I'm going to select HTML, and what you see on the right-hand side here is you can see that it is showing all of the code to create this. So there's a lot of lines of code. I am going to copy this right here. I am then on my desktop, I am going to create a new file. In this new file, just give me one moment. Don't know if it's minimized for y'all. I am going to essentially open it up. And once I have opened it up, I am then going to copy and paste. Okay, there. So this is the HTML file before I pasted anything. Now I am going to open it. And I am going to paste all the info. So there you go. And now does this work? Uh-oh. Let's debug that real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I can just wrap this in I think I can just do this. That should be fine. Let's see if this works. There we go. Let's go. So I just copied and pasted it into my HTML file. And as you can see, we have everything here. So we have that first card that we created with placeholder images, and you can see the rest of our UI cards with the description, the borders. You can see that when it overflows on the page, it actually goes down. So it fits the entire width of our, what's it called? The entire width of our canvas here. So just like that, we have created UI cards in Figma. So a few more questions. How does it look like cool cards? That you create a random card and it looks aesthetic now. Just wow. How'd you get a big grid? So the way I did that is I clicked on, let me just exit out real quick. I clicked on the frame. I set it to be this wrap mode, and I clicked line top left, and just like that, it created a grid. But yeah, that's basically the entirety of the Figma workshop here. We have just finished the UI card project, and voila, it works. So if you'd like to take this further, you can try it out in in VS Code. And if you want, feel free to let me know how I did in the survey here. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for sticking with me in this workshop. If you want to catch Today in Global Hack Week, that should be right after this at 12 p.m. in about like 30 seconds. So thank you all for being here. I can answer some questions in chat in the next stream, but yeah, thank you all for being here, and good luck to y'all. And yeah, again, catch me I can't speak right now. Quinn and Jocelyn right after this for Today in Global Hack Week. All right, thanks y'all.